But so much of it is up to chance. The dalgona one depends on the shape. Oh my gosh, what if you had no saliva and you had to pee on it?
Helen is going to play a really weird game. She's on the show.
Would you do it?
Hell no. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. So even though Helen and myself, we see each other pretty frequently and we have weekly meetings, we actually haven't really caught up since after the holidays, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot has happened. It felt like a blur. And also, as you can see, Janet isn't here today. She actually got sick and lost her voice completely and is taking the day to recover and rest.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are getting sick lately.
They are.
I actually saw this post on Instagram where it was sourcing the California Department of Public Health, and it was talking about monitoring California wastewater, basically our shit. Like someone is monitoring our shit to see that there is like a spike in viral load that is comparable to when Omicron was at its peak in January 2022. So something is happening out there. Okay. Studies based on our shirt it's like confirming that. So I think everyone just be safe out there. Not saying Janet has COVID. She's been testing negative, but I think she has a flu. It's just 2024 is like off to a rough start.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's rough now, so it's amazing later.
Yeah. You can only go up from here.
Yeah. That one saying. But for us, like I mentioned, holidays is really crazy for our group of friends. I think I would say starting like after Halloween, it gets super hectic because everyone's birthdays fall around the same time. Then you throw in the holidays, and I feel like we're just kind of like running to meet everything.
Yeah.
And it's always a little stressful, but again, it's always great memories made. But you know, it feels like a race sometimes.
Yeah, so we haven't actually caught up since the holidays. I feel like after we got back in January, it was just like back to work.
Oh, yeah.
So we're catching up live.
Yes.
We also, I feel like, watched a lot of different shows during the holidays. For example, when I was watching Squid Game, The Challenge, I was texting you. I was like, we need to talk about this on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And because we backlogged a lot of our episodes, we never got the chance to. So I was like, oh, maybe this can be the episode where we talk about it later on.
Yeah, we also get into very, like, I would say enthusiastic conversations about reality TV. So this is perfect.
Well, how was your holiday break?
Ooh.
Oh, sorry. I just looked down here. I forgot there's a little, I think this is called a meshki. Is it called a meshki?
A Smitsky.
A smitsky?
Yeah.
A smitsky. This is Janet for today.
Living well with Jay.
Living well with
It's
Jay.
very Janet.
Yes. Anyway, how was your holiday?
The first word that comes to my head is like chaotic. No, actually, it wasn't chaotic. Sorry, I take that back. It was really busy. I think I called you one of the days because I was having difficulty balancing everything. I think because coming off of like, and I think you're sure about this later, but we literally had like the gala and then your son's birthday. And then I drove back home to the Bay Area for 2 weeks and I actually got sick. And so like I was taking meetings for that last week. I was sick. So then I was already like at 60% of like my like capabilities. So I'm just like, oh, I feel like half of a human right now. But then like all the festivities happened. And I will say it was especially busy this year because now that I have a partner, this is the first year that we had like double the social activities, like his family activities and his friend stuff and then my friend stuff and then my family stuff. So it was like a lot to juggle.
Because his family's from the Bay too.
Yeah. And I think last year wasn't like a quote unquote an issue because I think his family didn't do much last year. I think some people were out of town, but this year was like back and full-fledged and like very active and seeing all his friends. So just a lot of things for this year. And I think at one point, to be completely honest, I think we were talking about like, let's not add any more things to the schedule because I only had one free day of the 2 weeks left. And I was like, how do I only have one free day left? I already felt suffocated and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then I think we got into like a little spat talking about like, hey, like, can we stop scheduling things? And it's hard because we want to see everyone. But I think I also came to the conclusion in that conversation is that my social bandwidth is much lower than his. Even though I'm like more like I think if you meet the both of us, I'm more like, hey, oh my God, and more like I guess bubbly. But I think I require more energy. Yeah, and so I think at one point I actually called Helen. I was like, I don't know what to do, like venting to her. And that's the only day I called you during the whole holiday break.
It was.
And I was like,
You're like, I'm at the park right now and I need to vent.
yes, I need a vent. And so I think she was like, you're very great at like, like, it's okay, like, it's fine. Like, me next time try to be like stack things. I was like, yeah, but I can't. It's just so hard. And so I was doing all these things. So I'm complaining first and then going on the good things.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every time I go home, it's the same thing, right? You want to see everyone. It's the only opportunity you get to see your friends from like childhood, high school, college, whatever it was. And for me, what I've started to do, and I mentioned this to you, is just have everyone come out at one time where it's like, hey, I'm going to be out. If you want to come to dinner, just let me know. I'll make reservations and then we can go out afterwards if you want to make it out for the late night. And then there are some people that might be like more one-off. But I feel like when you're home for the holidays, it's when you rest.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you're filling up that schedule when it's like end of the year, you just want to rest. You just want to relax. Yeah, but so this is like kind of a unique situation for you this first year.
Yeah, and I think it's also different because, and I was telling Ray, I said, even when I didn't have a partner, just me being home by myself was always a challenge because all my, like you said, all my sets of friends, minus our group in LA, all moved back to the Bay Area or they moved there. And I was like, how do I juggle like 80% of my friend group in in 2 weeks? So that was also hard. And a lot of his friends are there. I'm just like, I'm struggling here a little bit.
Rent out a bar.
Yes. It's also
both groups of friends meet each other. That's when your life like actually starts to merge.
That's true. But the thing is, I think nowadays I recognize that my group of friends, we don't drink anymore. So it's always like wholesome activities.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't get everyone to one place because no one wants to drink. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's hard. I think the highlight, which I'll say all the good things now, I think just learning that like, okay, like I need to be more intentional and like vocalize like this is what I struggle through and like how to work that out with your partner. And I think he understood in the end.
So how did it get resolved?
You know what happened? And I think I texted you this. I was like really like annoyed about like dealing with the situation and like our little spat. And I came back and he was like, oh, I forgot what we were talking about. I was like, well,
what?
I was like, well, I do. Let me remind you. You said this. I said that. Because I just wanted to make sure that like, hey, this is really important to me.
Yeah.
Like setting boundaries with time. And I need you to understand that. Yeah. And so he was like, okay, I get it. And like,
are you the partner that wants to talk things through to make sure it doesn't happen again? And is he more like fiery in the moment and then he kind of just wants to, forget about it and move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think I wouldn't say he's fiery because Ray.
Yeah,
he's so chill.
He's not fiery.
He might be like lukewarm. I don't know what's the layer underneath fire, but I think
maybe like hot.
Yeah.
Fire is like scorching hot.
Yeah, he's like fire. I don't know. I can't find the right word, but I think it's because I'm more like, do you get it? Do you know why? And I kind of say it like, I ask him like multiple times. He's like, Mel, I get it. Like, you don't have to keep bringing it up to me. Like, I understand. He's more like, we addressed it. I'm over it. It's okay. Like, I understand.
Yeah.
But I'm more like, are you sure you understand? You swear?
Yeah.
And he was like, Mel, I just want to stop talking about it because I get it now.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I think this is one of those things where you guys are still relatively new in your relationship too. So these are not deal breakers or like major red flags, but you're always going to have some difference in terms of like values or lifestyle or just your social energy and battery and how that's going to, differ from one another. So that's like starting to come out, but I feel like you guys, talking about it, you're able to get through it, which is good.
I agree. And I think these are obviously not deal breakers. They're just more like, how do you understand your partner better?
Yeah.
Sorry. So I spent like the last 10 minutes be like, this is all the stuff that happened that was negative on the trip or like my break, but
positives. Okay, what are the positives?
Positives. Okay. One, it was the first time I got to celebrate like Christmas with Ray's family. And it was so much fun. I think it was the kind of experience or celebration I kind of always dreamed of. Very like lively, like it was like 50 people there. And his family is like really like rambunctious and like they all like to like they kind of drink and were like taking shots. And I was like, oh, like it just felt fun. And like we did a white elephant with 27 people.
Wow.
Which sounds kind of like chaotic, but I kind of like that chaotic feeling sometimes. And it felt very like, when the house feels very full, that's what I felt.
Yeah.
And everything was decorated. And I think as in my household, my family, we're not really big on Christmas. So it's just like, we don't have a tree. There's barely any presents. There's no tradition sometimes within my family. So it was nice to get that like alternative celebration.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I belonged. And I felt like the integration kind of happening.
Did you steal presents and were you like aggressive, Mel, or did you pull back a little bit?
We didn't steal. I just felt like, it's first year, kind of like,
yeah, you gotta ease it in.
And you're also trying to like get like, what presents do they like? No one stole our gift.
Oh, what was your gift?
Okay, seriously, I got Fly by Jane, like the whole set, like the sauce, the hot pot sauce,
Ooh.
and the hot pot like base.
Oh, that's so good.
Right? But you know what happened? When the person opened the gift, they just saw the hot pot like bag and all the sauces were hidden. And so the funny thing is that, so it was a $50 limit. And then,
Dang, that's a high limit.
I know, we went kind of higher. But then, and then Ray's uncle's hella fun. He was like, what? Hot pot? That's not $50? Like, the kind of like.
15.
50.
Oh, 50. Okay, yeah.
So I think when he saw the like hot pot, he's like, what the hell? Like, that's not $50. Like, making a joke.
yeah.
But he made us a joke saying like, oh, get the 99 ranch. Like, so I was like, I looked at Ray, I was like, they need to open the sauces. But I realized I think some people don't know what Fly by Jane is.
Yeah,
and I'm like, other people are like, oh my God, it's an amazing gift. Maybe that group, I think they like more like tools and electronics. So just learning, you have to learn like what they like. So
one of the past White Elephants we did, everyone was really excited about this. Like, it's like a telescopic stool.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like it folds up into this like, or compacts into like this small circular thing you can put into your backpack, but then it becomes a stool. You can sit anywhere you want to, and everyone was going crazy over that one.
Oh yeah. It was because it's a production stool.
Yeah.
I
wanted it.
me too.
I was like, Wes, we're stealing it from you.
Did you end up getting it?
No, I got something else. I forget what.
Who took it?
I don't know.
But that was we had a white elephant too. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think the family thing was a highlight. I will also say like in general, like, so actually Ray stayed with my whole family for 2 weeks. It's like we were living with my family, and just to see him like get really comfortable with my parents, like we definitely hit that level of like you're kind of really integrated in.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
I know, like he's eating my mom's food, the leftovers in the fridge. It was very like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, and my mom's like, my dad, my dad's. It's just interesting. Like it's a new level.
Checking all the boxes.
Yeah, I think
holidays
so.
at home with the family I feel like it's intense in the most relaxed way because you're the most integrated that you'll be for the whole year with like within someone else's family.
I agree.
Especially if you're staying over.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I guess the other highlight was I think I always feel really nice. It's always really nice when I see my like college friends like Tiff and Sally. It was just, I don't know, it was just like nice. Like we had a big larger gathering where we all dressed like The Rock.
Oh yeah, that was so cute. Yeah.
I didn't know about the dress code until like literally the week of, and I was like, what the hell? But it was like rocking around the Christmas tree, so we wore turtlenecks, and that was fun.
Black turtlenecks, gold chain. Oh,
yeah.
Excuse me. Am I part of this?
You just have
Christmas
to wear
card?
a turtleneck.
Oh.
But you have the gold chain down. You do look kind of, it's a little, The Rock comes in a bit.
But you were wearing blue jeans.
I know. But I wasn't prepared. And also, we found out during that gathering that, fun fact for anyone listening, I actually was really into WWE growing up.
My grandpa was too, so I watched a lot as well. Oh, yeah, it was always on the TV.
Wait, you watched it too?
Yeah. My grandpa would say it's Ailo Aga, which means like big men fight.
I feel like a lot of Chinese like old people like watching wrestling. Like my great grandpa did too.
I was like, are you okay?
Yeah. Maybe it's just like their way to
so much violence.
But it's also like then it's fake. Like the ones in the US.
It's more of a show.
Yeah. But besides that, like being home and seeing my friends, that's like the highlight. But yeah, that was my holiday.
Do you feel like you got to relax though?
No. Not really. No.
That one day.
Yeah.
What'd you do that one day?
I literally was in our slanket, the blanket that's a sweater, and I was on the couch all day.
Is that what you call it?
That's what Ray started calling it.
A slanket?
Does it sound weird?
Like a snuggie?
What do you call it? The one thing we have.
I call it a snuggie. But it's not a snuggie, but it's, yeah.
It's a slanket. Sweater blanket. That sounds weird, right?
Yeah. Philip wears his and it's pink. He got the kids one for some reason. Aww. And he doesn't wear pants underneath, so it's really short and he has long legs, so it looks really weird.
Oh my God. I have a photo of Ray not wearing pants underneath it. It looks funny. And he's wearing high socks. It was weird.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyways, that was there's other things that happened. Like I took my mom out to the city for mother-daughter time.
That's cute.
I forgot to mention that. That was something that I felt like something I always wanted to do was have intentional time with my mom. But my mom always likes to have like, dinners with my brother and my dad, like all four of us. But I wanted time with just her. So that was really nice. And she dressed up really extra nice and like just tried harder to look good just to make sure for the photo. So I felt my mom really enjoyed that. So that was really nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds like an overall good social holiday break.
It was.
Yeah. But you need a vacation from your vacation.
I think I do.
Yeah.
All right, ABG listeners, this is Janet, and I'm about to go big sister on you. It is January of a new year. Have you scheduled your annual doctor's visit yet? If you're turning in your seat, looking down or away because you know you haven't, I would like to urge you to please get on that task. Your health is so important. And if you're currently looking for a new doctor, I would suggest checking out ZocDoc. It's a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors who are near you and instantly book appointments with them online. You're able to filter the doctor specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat basically any condition you're looking for. If you're looking for a primary care physician, they got those. An optometrist, they got those. A gynecologist, they got those too. ZocDoc has verified reviews from actual real patients, and typical wait time to see a doctor booked on ZocDoc is just 24 to 72 hours. And you can even score same-day appointments. I have used ZocDoc myself, and you should too. Go to ZocDoc.com/ABG and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/ABG. ZocDoc.com/ABG.
I want to hear about yours. I feel like I just followed your holidays through your stories.
Yeah, it was I feel like this Christmas started way earlier than any other Christmas has ever started. So I tried starting after Halloween. Does that sound crazy? Do I sound crazy? Like November 1st, but because it got busy, I didn't start until December 1st, which is still felt really early. Usually I like start Christmas the week before Christmas.
Oh, really?
December 1st. And this was the first year I feel like I tried to put in more effort just in terms of upping the decorations. This is the first time I lived in a house, like a single family house. So 2021 was when we moved in. For the past 2 years, we never put up outdoor decorations, and this was the first time. I was like, let's put up a little Santa Claus that's like sneaking into our house.
That's
and
cute.
Then let's put up like little candy canes and outdoor Christmas lights. So it was nice. It was nice to be part of like the whole festive movement.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously I feel like we were doing this for our son, who this was the first year that he actually understood Christmas.
He did.
Yeah, like he understood Santa, reindeers. He looked for stars on top of the Christmas tree. The concept of presents, he actually never really got that concept because his birthday is right around Christmas. So it's like whenever he gets presents, it's during this time. And when he was 1 year old, he was like, I like wrapping paper, right?
Yeah.
So this year, like at the beginning of Christmas, he would see the presents and not think anything of it. He would climb on top of the presents to get to our tree and then pull down the ornaments. Aww. But that was like the purpose of it, the presents. It was just like
a ladder
on top of, it was like a ladder. But then by the end of, when Christmas rolled around and he started opening the presents, now he's like obsessed. And I remember thinking to myself like, oh man, this is that period of time when he didn't understand presents was such an innocent, time. Because after that, like once he's a kid with presents, they're gonna go crazy over them.
That's true.
And I was just like thinking, he doesn't know what it is yet. I mean, I feel like I literally saw the progression of someone who just did not know Christmas to becoming fully captivated by the spirit of Christmas. And that was probably like the best memory that I will have of Christmas this past year and the holiday season.
Yeah.
To see someone just getting it and being so bright-eyed about it.
What's one moment that you saw him being like, he understood Christmas and being like so excited?
I think anytime we just saw Christmas trees or lights, he would just like sit up in his seat and try to look out the window and just look at them and name everything that he saw. So he'd be like, sleigh. I try to teach him the difference between sleigh and sled. So he always goes, sled. But every time he sees a little Santa Claus, he'd be like, sleigh.
Aww.
And so in reindeers and whatnot. So that in presents and him just being excited for all things Christmas.
Man, I feel like he's growing up so fast.
So fast.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
To even see him saying these words.
Yeah.
He didn't know that at all last year.
Right. And I think what I've learned from this past holiday season, which was just wild, and also from this past year, is that going to 2024, I realized that I just have to be more prepared for everything. Like, I think as still a relatively new mom, I'm still trying to understand how much you have to plan ahead for things. Even getting out the door, you need to start like prepping the night before, or else it takes like hours to get out of the house sometimes. And now even for like birthdays or events, I'm just like, we got to start planning now for the holidays. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm the type of person like likes to have intentional like birthdays and ones that have effort put into it and whatnot. So I feel like I just need to start now. I don't know. I'm trying to calibrate to what it means to be a mom in the season of her life.
Yeah. Actually, I have a couple questions for you because like two things. I think one for your son's birthday, do you feel like you have to start planning now? Because like once the holiday hits, it's like you're kind of running out of time to think of what you want to do and like how to plan a celebration. And then Christmas is like sandwich afterwards. Like
yeah. We also have usually this like gala that happens also on the same weekend of his birthday. So the Unforgettable Gala hosted by Character Media. That it's like one of the best, probably my favorite event of the whole year. But it always falls in the same weekend as my son's birthday. So literally the night of the gala, I was in bed at 3 a.m. and then up again at 6 a.m. to spray paint these traffic cones that were so fluorescent orange. And I painted it like a nice baby blue. But do I sound crazy? I sound crazy.
No, I just think you're just someone that I think when it comes to planning, you're all really big on details.
Yes.
Yeah. And I remember you asked us like, hey, if anyone's up early, I would love to help. And I was like, I don't know if I could get up early.
Yo, no one showed up except for our friend Eric. He showed up early. And then Tim showed up on time. And I was like, thank you. But it's okay. I understood. We had an event the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the last question I want to ask you is just because I think I catch myself saying this to you, and I don't know if it's like as a mom who's seeing her child grow, like we know when I say like, oh, he's growing up so fast, or do you get sad when people say that? Or is it kind of like just stating the fact?
It's when someone else says it, it's stating the fact. But every time I give him a bath and then I dry him, we just dry him on this like bench. And so I'm always kneeling on the ground on like a foam insert thing, and I just kneel on the ground. And every time he stands up and he's taller than me, I always do this thing now where I'm like, you're taller than me, you're growing up so fast. And I pretend to cry. And then he'll be like, are you okay?
He says that.
Yeah. And then he'll kiss me on my forehead because he's taller than me. But those are the moments when I'm feeling it the most of like, oh, you're going to be taller and bigger than me one day. But yeah, other than that, when other people say it, it's okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I'm like, I catch myself saying that to you and Phil a lot. I'm just like, because I don't want to like.
No, it's
yeah, okay.
It's pretty clear and obvious that
but
he's growing up so fast.
It's crazy to me.
I know. It's been 2 years of this.
I still remember the first time we decided to sell merch. We were still working our full-time jobs and had zero experience starting an online shop. But we wanted to create something that our listeners would feel proud to wear and something that felt like an extension of ABG. That is how the mantra tree was created, which led us to starting our online store. When choosing which platform to use, it was a no-brainer. We instantly chose Shopify. Shopify is a global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. Like we were able to sell to our listeners in New York, Singapore, London, and more. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. So for ABG, it's been a couple years now since we started using Shopify, and it's honestly helped our business expand so much, from selling just one shirt to now having multiple collections with various products from cups to totes to hats. Shopify has been with us at every stage of our Asian Boss Girl merchandise journey. Also, fun fact, Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. That's very good. As we continue to think through new product lines, we'll for sure be sticking with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/ABG, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/ABG now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/ABG.
What are some shows that you watched over the break?
Ooh, I love this question because I think holiday break is the perfect time to like binge watch things and be on your couch. I for some reason I decided to watch all the Marvel movies again to go back on the timeline. It's just
wow, since like what, Iron Man?
I started Iron Man 2 because I watched Iron Man the first one recently. So like now I'm at Infinity War like today.
Whoa,
I know
that's a lot of movies.
Oh yeah, we just put on the background sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just love Marvel. But then another thing I watched because I love my reality shows. I did finish Squid Game: The Challenge.
Ooh, yes.
And I know you watched it too.
Yes.
And I think we're gonna talk about it. But I have opinions. Like I started watching it with my roommates, and I was like, "Why are they watching this?" And then I started watching it myself. I was like, "Why am I watching this?"
It's so good.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
You didn't think it was good?
Okay, before we get into
I'm surprised.
Okay, well, before we get into Squid Game, this discussion, I'll say there will gonna be spoilers for those of you who have not watched. Like this is your time to be like, okay, I'm gonna pause this episode, finish the show, and then come back. Okay, my first initial thought, because I watched the Korean series or the dramatic,
the original Korean drama.
Yes. I just thought it was good. Like that's like when something's so good, like kind of like leave it untouched, right? But I understand why they want to make a reality show out of it. But I think what threw me off, and maybe this is like, I don't know if this is weird, but I knew the original was a Korean show, but now you're putting a reality show with all Western faces. Like there was no like, I was like, oh, like I don't know why I like having it like be like an American reality show is kind of like, it threw me off a bit.
I would agree with that. I think when I first saw that there was going to be the challenge, I was excited, and I was kind of expecting it to be like an Asian game show reality type situation.
Like Physical 100.
Yeah. Especially because the original was Korean based. I was like, oh, it's going to be all Korean, contestants. But I think this came out of Britain. So even though it was mostly Americans on the show, I was kind of surprised. But I just thought to myself, like, interesting. And I was a little disappointed, but I was interested in to see how they would like play it out. And also the fact that it got adopted by like an international audience. I was like, okay, cool. Good for them.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite characters and who did you not like on the show?
Okay, so I think like before we get started on this question, I will say like I did get into it. So like I do have some favorites. My favorite was I actually didn't mind like the son and mother duo.
Oh yeah,
I
like
them
too. Yeah,
they were good.
Did people not like them?
I don't know. People like I don't know actually.
I like them. I thought it was cute.
Same.
Yeah, I thought it was cute that at the end, again, huge spoilers, but like when it was just the mother and son during the game of marbles, she was like, I'm not just gonna let you win. And she's like a pro. She was a former pro, like, or not pro, maybe college, like basketball player or something like that. So she has like the intensity of an athlete and the skill set, right?
Yeah.
So she was actually really close to beating him. I was like, yes, you go, grandma.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if she's grandma, but I was like, mom.
But I think it's nice to see that because you're like, you're not letting me win. You're like, we're actually competing still. Like, I feel like there's effort being put in.
Yeah.
So I like that. Phil,
yes, the runner up.
Yes. And the one that's like also like he's a scuba diver or whatever. I feel like he like did a really clean game. He was well liked.
Yeah.
Very intentional. Wasn't trying to backstab and just like a good guy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I like the way you play the game.
Yeah. TJ, who is the former basketball athlete person, tall guy.
The coach guy?
Yes. Yeah. I actually I liked him. There's a lot of people did not like. Okay, I could tell you don't like him.
I think there's a scene where like they're questioning his intention of like wanting to take lead, but I think understanding his background now, I was like, okay, I understand.
Yeah,
like I'm okay.
I think that's where a lot of people said it was like forced positivity, or he was trying to take over the show, kind of, and be like the self-imposed leader of everyone. But I was like, I think that's just him being intentionally like a good person.
Yeah.
Just trying to be a good motivator and get everyone's spirits up. I feel like I would be his friend.
I can see that.
Maybe I also am an overly positive person. So I'm like, hey, positivity.
But yeah, I think it worked, but I think sometimes people will target those people though.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest target on your back because you're the loudest too.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what I also liked? The Gangbu gang leader.
Oh,
the old man.
Yeah.
Old man, like I just feel for them. And he was trying so hard. You could tell he memorized all the games in like the Korean terms.
Yeah.
That was really
gang
cute.
was cute because I feel like it was also diverse and inclusive, like age inclusive.
Yeah.
I don't know if there were any women there though. I don't think there were.
They're all
not
men.
that inclusive. But speaking of age, I liked Mai. I was rooting for her.
Okay.
Because she's an old Asian woman or an elder Asian woman. She's not like old, but
yeah.
Honestly, I think I just have a soft spot in my heart for like Asian aunties. Because even if someone is maybe a little rude or a little, rub someone off the wrong way, I'm like, oh, they've been through it.
That's true.
And
she has.
She's been through it.
She has.
Yes. Was she a refugee?
I think she's a refugee. She also like
Vietnamese refugee.
She joined the Navy or the arts, and then she also got pregnant. And then she like her family like left her.
Yeah,
so
like
she has
her
gone
story
through
was intense, and so I was rooting for her.
I liked her, but I wasn't sure. So there's some moments I'm just like I felt bad. Some of the decisions I'm like I don't know about her decisions all the time.
Which one?
I mean, I think in general my critique of the show, like people are a little dramatic in my opinion, and we'll go on that later. But I think. Yeah, I think maybe the whole like the coach thing, she didn't like him, but then he saved her.
Yeah.
But I think she also recognized like I made the wrong judgment call there.
Yeah.
But I liked her because I think she proved her skill. And I was like, damn, this girl deserves to win. Like she's good, So I was like, all right, I like Mai.
Yeah, she actually won based off of like strategy.
Yes.
And really like observing things. Oh, one more person I did not like.
Oh yeah, let's go on not like.
The one who was playing marbles against one of the girls, and he was not compromising with the chosen method of how to win. Because he was like, we have to toss it. And she's like, well, I'm not going to win because I'm not good at tossing things.
Yeah, I remember that. I was so frustrating.
And he was just not budging. And I was just like, dang. Like, this show, I guess, is all about capitalism and what that does to people and money hungry / like competition, what that does to people. And I was like, oh, your true colors are showing. This is so bad.
But it's dumb because I feel like when I was watching, I was like, you're literally eliminating yourself and her. Like, why? Just might as well do something that gives you some opportunity to possibly
win. Which
win.
they ended up doing at the last minute, but then they tied. So then they both got eliminated anyway. It was so dumb.
That pissed me off.
Yeah.
Another thing that pissed me off too was speaking of the marble game, I don't even know. It was such a small part, but it just infuriating me was like, remember the girl, she was she the one that was deaf? Mm-hmm. And she went against a guy, and then he just started like, they were trying to debate on how to do the game, but he just started attacking her.
Yeah.
And like gaslighting her. I was like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
Yeah.
And the last character.
Oh, I was reading, I was on Reddit, but I was reading about how a lot of people actually was defending him because he was also hearing impaired. And so he was like, you're using this moment to like make me look bad. But I guess the way that his tone versus her tone, it was just, it painted him as the bad guy. But anyway, yeah.
You went on Reddit?
I did.
You're one of those.
I really like the show.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I hella Google after an episode or something too. There's two more players that came to mind that I probably would put on my like not so fond of list. But one is more like he was a good person, but I just don't think he was meant for the show. Was that the guy who I think he was like, you remember the first one of the first challenges, and they had to do like the cookie game?
Oh yeah, Dalgona challenge.
Yeah, and I just could tell he kept like wanting to throw up or something. Like he was so anxious.
Guy.
The Mormon guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt bad because I'm like, I understand you're under pressure, but I'm like, dude, you're not fit for this game.
I felt so bad. Like I wanted to hug him, but also laugh at the same time. Like it was so, because he got bullied into basically choosing the worst of the three lines: circle, triangle, or umbrella, right?
Yeah.
And so he was forced to pick, and his face was like beet red by the time he was like, I will do it. And he chose that line. And then like, imagine, because I feel like he is someone who is an empath and someone who just really feels deeply, but he was just crumbling under pressure. And imagine like going through that experience of like letting down a third of like 450 people and then having to focus on a freaking umbrella to try. He was like the sounds that they were playing coming from his body. He was literally about to throw up like while doing it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
oh my god.
But I think you think it's hella funny. No, but that's why I was thinking like, this game is a lot of pressure, dude. Don't go on the show. Like, I'm sorry. It's just don't, like, this is not for you. Go on Big Brother or something else. You know? But I felt bad because I did feel bad for him. I'm just like, he literally is a lose-lose situation. That's so funny.
It's not funny.
Would you get mad at him if you were in that line?
Hell yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I'm laughing so much. I think I just have like a vivid visual of like him just, especially when like the little squid ink thing like blew up on him. He was just like, ugh.
Oh, Helen.
Anyway.
But yeah, I don't think I disliked him. I just don't think he was right for the show. The
for sure not.
The other person I know everyone probably be on the same page with is that, I forgot her name. That girl at the last game where they all agreed that like,
Ashley.
hey, Ashley. It's like the last game where the girl gets across the bridge and like if you go on the wrong step, you'll fall through. Mm-hmm. They all agreed that each of them will take a step. That way they're all accountable. But she was like, I'm not going next. Like, I'm just stand here. And I was like, you're being such not a team player. Like, you're the only one that doesn't want to do this.
Right.
But she was like, well, I didn't agree to this.
Yeah.
But I just feel like in those moments, it's kind of like, I understand it's an individual gameplay. But at that point, I'm like, it's collective at that point. You just have to switch your mentality. It's just being so selfish. I don't know.
I would agree with that. I didn't like her as well because of that. She was at fault because she didn't say anything when everyone was agreeing on it. Like, if she had spoken up and said, I'm not doing this, while everyone was still on the main platform.
It was agreed upon then
someone else could have been like, okay, well, I don't want, like, you know, and then it would have been a consensus that way. But she made a decision when she was on the glass. And that's where the son was like leaping to his death. And I was like, no, he could have stayed back. He could have continued going on. So that's when I was annoyed.
Yeah. I was mad.
Hi everyone, it's Helen here. You've been hearing me talk about Pampers for a while now on this podcast, the diaper brand that we've been using for our soon-to-be 2-year-old. And for anyone out there who is still in the diaper phase of parenthood, this one is for you. We've been using Pampers Swaddlers and it's given us back several minutes of our lives. Why? Because Pampers Swaddlers prevents up to 100% of leaks, even blowouts. Meaning we are not constantly changing our baby out of his clothes, cleaning up the mess afterwards, and doing several more loads of laundry than we prefer to. Swaddlers Diapers has a blowout barrier, which is an innovative back pocket in the diaper to help prevent messes from coming out. Pampers Swaddlers is always in stock in our household because when our baby is asleep for more than 11 hours, you know we gotta have an extra absorbent diaper for dry nights and less wake-ups in the middle of the night. With Pampers Swaddlers, you can rest assured that you have superior leak protection while keeping baby skin healthy. For trusted protection, trust Pampers, the #1 pediatrician recommended brand.
Speaking of the whole like collective mentality, I feel like especially towards the end, everyone was sort of like self-sacrificing themselves for the good vibes of the whole group, you know, because it could have gotten really cutthroat. Like the game where you throw a dice and then if it lands on a 6, you are eliminated, right? You're supposed to choose someone else to potentially eliminate, but everyone's like, oh, we'll choose ourselves.
Okay.
You know, and we'll roll it for ourselves instead. How did you feel about that?
At first, I was very confused.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get the game.
What? You just roll a 6 and you get eliminated?
No, I was like, sometimes when I watch this show, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like on my laptop. So I was like,
okay.
huh?
You're like, why are they rolling a dice?
Yeah. Well, okay. Now that you explain, what? There's some games I don't fully immersed in, but okay. I thought the reason why they did that is because it's very unlikely you're gonna roll a 6. So you might as well make it evenly played.
Like everyone decide.
Kind of.
So you were okay with the fact that everyone's like, oh, let's just roll it for ourselves.
Yeah, because I'd be like, oh, how likely am I to roll a 6? You know what I mean? Like, but the thing is, if I choose you and I need to roll a 6 to eliminate you, it's so like I feel like I'm gonna be causing or putting a target on my back with someone else for like low probability.
Sure. Okay. I think as someone watching the show, I wanted to see that. Like it's more drama that way, I guess. But if I was an actual contestant playing, I would probably do the same. Yeah. Roll for myself.
And probably if I were a contestant, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You'd be like 6.
I'd be like, oh wait, what happened? You know, sometimes I just need a little longer explanation of things.
I mean, if you were a contestant on the show, would you be on the show?
Hell no.
You don't think so? You think you'll be the convulsing guy?
It's funny. This whole time in the show, I was like, my critique was like, everyone's so emotional. Like, why? Like, I think it was overly emotional. Like, in the part when Mai was like, no, Chad, no. I was like, what the fuck is, like, I was like, okay, sure.
I understood that part.
But I think I was talking to my roommate and she was like, you know, I think when you're in that environment, it's just like everyone is tense around you. You're going to feel tense and feel anxiety. And I was like,
for sure.
And I was like, oh shit, you're right. Like, that's how I feel anxiety. And I was like, if that's the case, I'm not meant for the show because I will be that dude. And you would laugh at me. You wouldn't be in my alliance if I did that. You're like, fuck this girl. Yeah, I actually speaking, would you want to be on the show?
But I feel like you're competitive though. I feel like your competitive spirit can take over sometimes.
It can, but
maybe not for that elongated period of time.
Yeah, like dude, like the bathrooms, like the food, I don't know. I don't think I'm like that gritty enough for it. I think you are.
I think I would be, oh my gosh, I am like envisioning myself in this. I think for some games I would be okay, but so much of it is up to chance. You know, like red light, green light, I could probably do. The Dalgona one depends on the shape, depends on how thin your sugar cookie is, depends on like how much saliva you have.
Yeah. It's so gross actually watching that anyways.
Oh my gosh, what if you had no saliva and you had to pee on it?
Helen is going to play a really weird game. She's on the show.
Would you do it?
Hell no. How do you not have saliva?
What if it was really cold and dry?
Just like hockaloogie or something. Or I'd rather use my snot than my pee. Because we're going to weird. How would you have pee if you're dehydrated? You wouldn't even have pee. Anyways.
Actually, so me even thinking about that, it's good strategy, right? So maybe I should go on a show.
You'll be eliminated for like foul conduct or something, foul play. I think actually, because another question I have is like one thing I didn't like. I don't know if I didn't like, but a strategy I saw with the show is like I think once you have an alliance and it's very obvious, you're targeted.
Yeah, that's so. If I were to be on the show, I feel like the strategy for the show is to lay low.
Yes,
but not too low. Like that one guy. Why am I so laughing so much?
Which guy?
The guy that got eliminated.
You're talking about the same guy who hyperventilated again?
No. Sorry.
Which one?
I'm laughing so much.
I thought you meant the guy who hyperventilated because he was low on the ground hyperventilating.
The guy that got eliminated.
Oh, wait, the guy that was like Tim, right? He was hella outgoing and shit.
No, he was like, I don't know if I want to be here.
Who?
He was like, I don't know if I want to be here.
Which one's that one?
Why is this so funny? What the fuck?
See, you have liquids.
There was a guy. Remember when they were like going around, they were like, oh, we have to choose one person to eliminate. Just a random game where it's like entered the number of the guy or a person to eliminate. And this guy went around and said like, I don't know if I want to be here. And he was like, why do people eliminate me?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Girl, were you watching the show?
I guess obviously not. I think there's some parts I'm just kind of like, I like, you know when you like loosely watch? I don't know what's going on over here. I haven't seen you laugh this long
I know,
in a
me
while.
either. What the fuck?
Wait, I do have a question for you.
Wait,
though.
can I like...
Do you have a laugh again? Do you want Dalgona?
Oh, why? I don't even know what like triggered in me to laugh so much.
Makes it so ridiculous.
I think, yeah, maybe it's so ridiculous.
You're like, dude, duh. Like a dude, duh.
Oh, thank you. What the fuck? Where'd that come from? Literally.
Maybe you know what? You have so much pent up laughter. You're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna let it out today.
Oh my god.
With the one statement, who the guy that laid low just cracked you up. I'm sorry.
Because I was like, why would you do that? Anyway.
Yeah, I think you laugh really hard at like dumb things.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Anyway, what was the question?
I don't know, but I do have a question for you.
Okay.
So one scene I was like, I did actually like think about was, remember the scene towards the end where they had to like choose a member and they to make it to the next round, and the women started to create a alliance.
Yeah.
She's always choose a woman contestant, that way we'll all make it to the next round because all these guys have been dominating. And I think the theory or the idea made sense because like woman empowerment, but at the same time I could tell like one of the girls, she was like, the deaf girl, sorry, I forgot her name, but she was really good friends with Phil. She's like, who do I choose? The person that I feel like I'm the closest to in the game, but who's a dude, or do I choose a girl I'm not as close to? And that's why when she chose Phil, she whispered to him, she's like, please choose a girl so they don't think I like fucked this up.
Yeah.
And it made me think, I'm like, if I were in this game and let's say I'm friends with Justin, Justin's like my person in the game, do I choose a female contestant I'm like, I'm okay with? Yeah. Or I'm going to choose my really good friend in the game? Like, what would you do?
I mean, that moment was interesting.
Yeah.
I think it was good that all the women, because I think it was like 9 women left and there were like 20 plus guys.
Yeah.
So it was clear that they were in the minority and they were like, okay, let's finally get together. And some people like first met each other in the group for the first time. And they were like, let's make sure that all the girls get through the next round. And it just so happened to be this round where it's like, oh, you choose someone to come with you.
Yeah.
And then whoever's like last just gets eliminated. So I think in that scenario, I would do the same as what you just said, like picking your friend or someone that's been your confidant for the whole game instead of picking a random girl that you just met. Like, I understand representation, making sure that we are uplifting women and, just in numbers, pure numbers is important. But when it comes down to like friendships versus just picking someone for the sake of, I don't know, it depends on where your values lie.
That's
and
true.
For me, I think it would be friendship first.
Me too. I think that's how I was like, I would probably do the same.
I would probably ask them to be like, please pick another woman.
Yeah, I would do the same thing she did.
Yeah.
So just wanted to ask, because I wasn't sure if anyone else who was like, any other female watchers out there were like feeling the same thing, or like, what would you do?
Yeah, if I had like no friends, I'd be like, oh yeah. For sure.
I hope you have friends in there. Oh, someone. Coming back home from the holidays, I struggled with 2 things. 1, getting back on track with nutritious meals, and 2, finding time to cook these meals. The first few weeks back have been a hectic return to work. I feel like we're all in go mode, trying to make sure that 2024 is a strong year. So by the time it's lunch or dinner, I'm scavenging my fridge looking for something to eat. After feeling uninspired by my leftover tortilla, I knew I had to get things in order, and I started getting delicious meals from Factor. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning, skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 25 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more. You'll have tons of flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. So I'm currently on the calorie smart ones, and these are so clutch. I just pop them in the microwave during my lunch breaks, and in 2 minutes, I have a tasty meal to eat while I consume my K-dramas. So much time saved during this crucial planning time for the new year. If your schedule is busy and you're looking for a delicious fast meal plan, check out Factor. Head to factormeals.com/ABG50 and use code ABG50 to get 50% off. That's code ABG50 at factormeals.com/ABG50 to get 50% off.
How did you feel about the ending? The final challenge between Phil and Mai?
I think it was a very dramatic challenge of rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
I was surprised that was what it was.
I know. I think in the end, when the last two made it to the finale, I was like, I am okay with either one winning.
Same.
It wasn't like, I need this person to win. So I was like, I actually didn't care at the end. I was like, okay, whoever wins, wins. So I was like, all right.
Who did you think was going to win?
I had zero idea.
Oh, okay.
So it was really was 50, because it's a game of like chance.
Yeah.
So I was like 50-50 in my eyes. Like,
Yeah.
How about you?
I actually thought Phil was going to win.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably just where my mental state or view of the world is right now, where I'm like, oh, of course, if it's a game that is more up to chance than strategy, and you have this lovable white surfer scuba diver dude versus this like super, this elder Asian woman who's like really trying to be strategic and intentional. I was like, the white guy's probably gonna win. Like, that's literally what I thought. And I was actually driving in my car watching the finale because I was so into the show that I had to like see who won.
Yeah.
So I was driving and I was like, oh, please, please, please. And I was like hoping for Mai. I was like, oh, but the editing. And I was thinking about the editing for the first like few episodes where she wasn't really in it. And usually they show either on the flyer or on, the first, you follow along the story of the winner, right? And I was like, oh, maybe that's why she's not going to win. So when she won, I actually like screamed a little bit. I was like, oh, like I was so happy, and I had to pull my car over and just like I felt tears in my eye. Like I was so happy that she won.
Because another like hardworking Asian mom.
Yeah, and I feel like elder Asian women just like never win, especially these game show challenges. And it just felt like such a moment of like representation, or like the fact that she went through so much and she like was strategic and was so smart about how she played everything. I was just like so happy for her. It was such a moment.
You cried?
I cried. I teared up. I was so happy. Yeah.
I think you're really into the show. I think I'm learning. And I was like, I was like,
giving
wow.
me a lot of emotions. Like, clearly,
laughter, crying. Wow.
Yeah.
I think for me, to be honest, even though I did like Mai, I wasn't super invested in her yet. Mm-hmm. I think because I liked Phil. I liked Phil too, and I was like, if he won, I would be happy with that. I feel like he would split it with her too. Like he's that kind of a person that's just so lovable. They were on Jimmy Fallon. Oh, they were?
Yeah, like the top 3 contestants. It was nice to see them all together, and she was saying that she was going to give a bunch of it away to like climate, animals, and underprivileged. I was like, oh, that's nice. I'm glad she won.
Yeah,
and she looks bomb now too. Like,
I gotta look it up
because she looks good. She got her hair. She got like her hair done. She had thin heels on. Like,
you watched
high
her
heels
interviews.
On. Yeah, well, just one.
Okay, I need to see them like outside, like the challenge, because they're all wearing the same outfit with like old oily hair.
Yeah,
So I gotta see.
Yeah.
My last question for you about like just the show in general, like, did you like the show, the challenge more, or like the actual series? And like, if so, like, what are your thoughts? Like your lasting thoughts?
It's different. It's just, that's it. It's different. It's too different. Like the first one is original is clearly,
dramatic,
like a drama piece, and it's all of the events are thought out, intentionally, dramatic. And I feel like, if anything, I feel like this whole Squid Games like show/series just shows, it's kind of sad because it does show that in reality people will act kind of similarly to how people acted in the original game show, where it is cutthroat. The bad side of people, it does show. So yeah, I mean, it's and I feel like it's a uniting factor for all countries, like all over the world, and that's why so many people like the show, is because of capitalism and just how what that does to people. So it is a message that is consistent between the two shows, and it's just kind of sad, but also reality.
Yeah, I think I still prefer the drama series. because I think I always like the original a little bit more, and I can't help but think like I would love to see the challenge done in Asia though, like do it with just an Asian cast, because I can't help but think that like I feel like I don't want to say it this way, but I think there's a little bit more like I think the whole capitalism mentality makes people a little bit more competitive and a little bit more like toxic in how they would compete. That I'm curious to see like if you bring on like just I'm not saying of course countries in Asia there's capitalism, but I think they're a little bit more collective mentality. So I wonder how like just being from different cultures, how that's going to impact like an Eastern culture versus Western, how they're going to like navigate a competitive game.
Let's play rock paper scissors right now, and if you win, you have to sign up.
2 out of 3.
Okay.
No, fuck. I'm gonna be that person.
Ready?
Is this karma?
Ready?
Okay.
Oh, on rock paper scissors
Okay.
or rock paper scissors shoot.
Who the hell does rock paper scissors?
Okay.
2 out of 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Rock paper scissors.
Ha! Sorry.
You're signing up.
No, if I win.
You sign up.
No, I think the loser.
No, I just said if you win, you sign
But I
up because you have the
wanna
best chance of winning.
Okay, here you go.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Ah!
Rock,
paper, scissors.
You
Mel
got-
is signing up for Squid Game.
I literally-
She would have won.
I literally tried to lose.
I tried to lose.
I don't want to be on Squid Game.
Okay. All right. We're signing Mel up.
No, but I'd rather be on.
Producers of Netflix.
Put me
let
on.
her let her through.
Please don't let me through. They're gonna hate me.
She might be the throwing up factor that is just
I think I would
so
be
good
now.
for TV.
And you're gonna laugh at me.
I'll support you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us for a fun catch-up episode with Helen and myself. And everyone send, warm wishes to Janet. Hopefully she's feeling better. I will say, like, talking about Squid Game and the challenge, it makes me realize that there's so many other exciting shows that are happening right now, like Singles Inferno.
Singles Inferno. We need a whole episode on that.
Yes, like there is so much. I'm having like full-on discussions on my Instagram about this. But like, and also I heard Squid Game season 2 might be coming out this year. So a lot of fun shows are happening right now. So excited to have continued discussions about these new shows that are coming out in 2024. But with that, we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.